Hello students, welcome to MGC Learning Standard 12th Subject English topic Direct Indirect Speech Part 1. Today we shall be doing a very interesting topic in a grammar, that is a direct and indirect speech. So students, what do we mean by direct and indirect speech? Here the speech of a person can be narrated by somebody in two ways: direct speech and indirect speech. Let us understand the difference with these two examples. Nitin said, I am happy now. And it can also be Nitin said that he was happy then. Now, in the both the sentence, students, the meaning doesn't change, but the structure of the sentence is different. If you look at the first one, the words of Nitin are quoted directly with a quotation mark, whereas here in the second one, the words of Nitin are without the quotation marks. When it is quoted with a quotation mark, it is called a direct speech, and when it is quoted without quotation mark, it is called as indirect speech. Now, the question would be from direct to indirect, and you can see both the sentence here, that is a change in the structure. This is what we shall learn today: how to change from direct into indirect speech. Now, if you look at the same question here, the verb said outside the inverted commas of the quotation mark, here it is called as a reporting verb, and the word inside the inverted commas are the words actually said by the speaker are inside the inverted commas, and these are called the reported speech. So, whatever is inside the inverted commas is called a reported speech. Now, let's take a look at the changes that take place from direct to indirect. Nitin said, I am happy now. And we saw the indirect speech. Nitin said that he was happy then. And you can see that there are changes. So, what are the changes? Let's list them down. There are 5 changes from direct to indirect. The first one being the punctuation, that is, we remove the quotation mark. When we change to indirect, here, students, there is no rule to follow. You just take away the punctuation mark. Second one, there is a change of tense inside the quotation mark, that is in the reported speech. As you can see the example, the verb inside is am and it changes to was. Now here students, what has happened is that verb inside the verb, the one inside the reported speech, not the verb outside. Next, that there is change of pronoun again inside the quotation marks, that is in the reported speech. The I changes to he. We can see the changes there, and then there is a change also in the punctuation. Outside, that is the commas outside, the inverted comma becomes connective words, and in this case the commas has changed to that. The finally you can see the word now changing into then. So there is a change in the words in the reported speech, that is now has become then. So, students, let us take each change of these words and see how we shall go about the changes. Of course, the first one, punctuation mark, there is no rule. Let's go to the next one, that is the change of tense in the reported speech. Here, if the reporting verb, that is the verb outside, as you saw the earlier verb said, if that is in the past tense, then verb outside the quotation is past tense. Then it will change. That is a tense in reported speech. Will change if the verb outside the present or future, like says or will says, then it will not change. tense will not change. But if the reported speech is a habit or a proverb or a universal truth, then the tense does not change again. What we see here once again, when will the tense change? When the reporting verb outside the inverted commas are in the past tense, then the tense change inside. Inside all will change. But if the reporting verb outside is present or future, then the verb inside will not change. The tense will not change. If the speech of the person, that is, the words inside the quotation mark, are either habit or proverb or a universal truth, then the tense does not change inside. Now, when will change the tenses? Let's see how will the tense change. Remember students, inside the inverted commas, the present changes to past and all changes to present to past corresponding past. Example, if we take the verb eat, it changes to ate. That is a simple present tense into simple past. If we take is, am, are eating, it changes to was, were eating. That means a present continuous changes to past continuous. If you have a have has eaten, that is a present perfect. Then it changes to a past perfect. That is had eaten, has have been eating. A present perfect continuous tense will change to past perfect continuous tense. That is had been eating, but if it is simple past, then it changes to past perfect. That is ate changes to had eaten, because the past perfect is got by adding past participle to the had or have has verb. So here, if it is simple past ate, it changes to past perfect, it becomes had eaten. We'll take one more example. Write becomes wrote. Is, am, are written becomes was, were writing. Has, have written will become had written, and has, have been writing will become had been writing. But when it is simple past, that is wrote will become had written. Students, very important to remember that simple past changes to past perfect. Quite often we forget that, so remember that if it is simple past, it changes to past perfect. Let's take just one more verb. Let's take the verb. It will change to was, that is, a present will change to past. But it, if it is past, if it is simple past, was, it will change to past perfect. Now, what is the past perfect? It is had been, because been is the past participle of is, am, are or the to be verb. So this is how the tense will change. All present will becomes past and past becomes past perfect. And now let's go to the some other kinds of verbs, that is our modal auxiliaries verb. So even the modal auxiliaries verb will change. Can will become could. Here will have become will would, shall have become should, and may will become might. This is how the modal auxiliaries will change. Now, let us put to practice what we have just learned. The first rule of the change of the tense, of course, first and foremost, will remove the inverted commas or the punctuation mark. But then we don't have the rule for that when we look at the change of the tense in the reported speech. There is definitely something to remember. The first thing, when will you change it? When the verb outside is past, then only you will change the tense inside the inverted commas. And when outside the verb present or future, then will not change. Tense will not change. Similarly, if the reported speech is a habit or a proverb or a universal truth, you will not change the tense of the reported speech. How will you change it? Then all present becomes to past, past become to past perfect. That's all for the day. Students, hope you understood well. We'll solve the examples of the direct and indirect speech in the next part too. Thank you.